America's 250th birthday, the Great American State Fair. Come on, y'all. Let's see what happened.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got just a second to tell us what's going on right now.
All right, so right now it's a heat wave going on.
Well, here, stand back here.
It's a heat wave going on right now, and people were just outside having fun, but people also outside and passing out. Okay.
How many people did you see pass out yourself?
7 people passed out in the last 1 hour. 67 people passed out in the last 1 hour. I promise you, that's why they closing.
Is the event well prepared enough for this? I mean,
at my station, I can't talk through the whole thing. You see, I got waters. Well, I had waters, but I still got cold water inside. So I don't know.
Is anybody going to the emergency room, the hospital?
A lot of people is.
A lot of people, like dozens?
But they got little medical tents over there, as you can see. They got medical tents. It's 5 to 6 beds in the medical center, and they got free air and free water.
Did your bosses prepare you for something like this? Did they say that today was going to be a mass?
Not really. They just said just be out here.
Just be out here.
Yeah, just be out here.
Just show up and something's going to happen, right?
Something's going to happen.
Well,
but my job is to make sure that y'all up, y'all thirsty, and y'all dehydrated, y'all hydration, and y'all good. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
As you can see, he gave appropriate answers to those questions. He did not want his boss to see that and to get in trouble. But I guess it just goes back to some of the reports that, I've been seeing, at least on TV, about the crazy heat. I mean, I know here where I'm at, we hit over 100 on the 4th of July. So I know there's been a lot of people struggling with the heat and everything out there. And, he didn't want to tell too much when their interviewer asked, were you prepared? He said, well, I can only speak for my part, which, he wasn't well prepared, which is what he wanted to say. But I see you, brother. Still trying to get that last check. President Donald J. Trump, whenever he can get a moment for himself. But I'm pretty sure that dance is going to be a meme. I think we've got a couple of those already, but it looks like, his event, his portion of the fair seemed to be very enlightened. If any of you out there went to the state fair, let me know in the comments. If you went, how was your experience? And if you know anybody that went, how was their experience as well?
We are now down to single digits at the Great America State Fair. This is currently what it looks like. This is a video taken by Charlie Cotton, a reporter in Washington, D.C. One man is having a great time dancing to the music being played from the stage at the Great America State Fair today. As you can see, the state fair is relatively empty. He is dancing. He's having fun. We had tens of people attend this week. Then we had single digits yesterday. And now during the day, it appears as though we're down to 1. We'll see what happens next. Spread the word. Follow for more.
And again, I know some of this is fun and games. There's definitely more than tens of people. But, I mean, from what I'm hearing, though, what I'm gathering, the crowd, for it to be America's birthday, Donald Trump in the White House and whoever he has in charge definitely underwhelmed when it came to this. Definitely totally unprepared. Wasn't much to look at. Wasn't very entertaining. Entertainers dropping out left and right. And it just shows what a disaster this has been. And in my perspective, along with everything that Donald Trump decides to inject himself into, typically doesn't turn out too well.
So I'm here today at the Great American State Fair on July 4th, and the situation is getting more and more dangerous. We have EMS vehicles piling up back here. I was just back there in this building, which, by the way, has no AC, and have a massive tent and area set up for people who are in distress, people who need medical assistance and help, and it is just a dangerous situation here. We just talked to a few of the officers and the EMT folks who are here on the ground, and they told us literally that people are dropping left and right. That is what is happening here at the Great American State Fair. You can see behind me someone else is rolling out there. I mean, it's actually a very bad situation. I genuinely want to underscore that this is very dangerous and very bad. And my thoughts are with that woman who was just carted away and all the folks that are in there. Wow, this is just a remarkable scene behind us now. I'm hoping for the best for these folks and for the rest of the day, because honestly, I don't think it is going to get better.
And honestly, I think it doesn't directly coincide with a lot of the cuts and whatever, but when Doge was allowed to come in and make these cuts for, fraud and waste, and they cut a lot of these agencies out that track the weather, that make sure that the situation for extreme heat in July in America, the people who are in charge of that, the lifelong people who have worked throughout many administrations to ensure that people don't fall out and die from heat stroke. Once all those people were fired, then this is the reason that we have situations like this that all of these poor people were in. My condolences goes out to anyone who was suffering from the heat and who had any injuries or anyone with any families from that. Once I knew that Trump was involved, I didn't even think twice about going. Thought never occurred. I knew that I could watch things like this in my air-conditioned home. And did you hear him say that that building behind him had no air conditioner? How is that even possible? How do you have a building with no AC? That's madness, y'all.
Please proceed to the nearest exit.
We're in the National Mall here in D.C. You can hear on the PA system that they are postponing the Freedom 250 event, likely because of the excessive heat. Asking the thousands of spectators that have come here to see the air shows flying overhead ride that very Ferris wheel to get out of this area because it is too dangerous to be here. We have seen medical personnel addressing heat exhaustion concern with some of the attendees, people getting carried away on stretchers in some of the D.C. Fire Department vehicles. Lots of sirens have been going off throughout the course of the day as medical personnel attend to people who are succumbing to the heat. We have had temperatures in excess of 110 degrees, the feels-like temperature. That is dangerous. There's one of the fire department EMS ambulances that are taking people to cooling stations to lower their internal body temperature. Again, Freedom 250 postponed until 5 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, I think that should have been the overall thing, what he said at the end about it being postponed. I think that should have been what it was. And again, I can't under stress the importance of what he did with these cuts. I mean, people either quit or they're fired. People who are in charge of things like this, people who are in charge of knowing what the weather's going to be like, people who are in charge of making sure there's hydration stations, making sure there's adequate medical personnel there. When you just go through and fire all these people and get rid of all these mechanisms that have already been into play, whether you like them or not, nothing like this has ever happened under any other administration. Like, this is one of the biggest disasters in American history. Our 250th birthday, and people are getting carted off for heat exhaustion. There's not enough water. There's no adequate air conditioner. You didn't know how hot it was going to be? Like, come on, man. That's ridiculous, y'all.
It's going to be approximately 107 degrees out. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a really long speech just to show that I can do anything. It's going to be 107.
Now, Trump knew that it was going to be hot. He himself acknowledged as much. But it really is telling that whether he's being tongue-in-cheek or not, his gut reaction to sweltering temperatures is to say that he's going to hold people hostage so they can hear him say the same thing he said at 1,000 other rallies and appearances.
And I don't know if you guys follow Brian Tyler Cohen. If you don't, go check that man out. He has very good insight on political news and the atmosphere. But back to what Trump said. I mean, just think about someone who would say something like that. I know it's going to be hot. It's going to be 107 degrees. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go give a long speech just so I can show that I can do anything I want. Showing that He don't give two shits about nobody else but himself. And you know what? His supporters, they'll sit there and burn themselves and pass out because they're in a cult. I mean, there are people who will stand by this man no matter what, and I just think it's disgusting that someone like that could be so selfish and not have any regard for the danger that he's been putting people through. And it just shows that that's what this administration is all about. It's about Donald Trump. This state fair was about him. It wasn't about America. It wasn't about you and me. Not to make this political or anything like that, but I mean, it kind of has to be a little bit, right?
Kinds of crazy stuff went down. I mean, the fence was picked up and dropped. Literally, this fence was picked up and dropped on that couple standing over there, right on top of them in the middle of a wind gust. Fences falling down everywhere, people unrest throughout the streets, and now they're opening back up and trying to get everyone back inside, and there's thousands of people bottlenecked at a tiny gate. So I'm not really sure how this is going to shake out, but so far, not looking good for the 250th birthday party, am I right?
Well, at least, we can say that as of right now, there has been no signs and reports of any kind of violence or anything like that. But it doesn't look like somewhere that I would want to be. It would suck to be there and have a whole fence fall on you. I mean, that just goes to show it wasn't even secure to the ground. I know the winds were really bad as well, but again, if you have the right people in place, meteorologists and things of that nature, you're going to know that the winds are going to be high. You're going to know that it's going to be over 100 degrees. You're going to know that you need adequate shelter and air conditioning and things of that nature. But, when you're cutting waste and fraud, I guess what you're inviting into the house. I hope that was like the karaoke session of the state fair, because that better not have been a paid performer. Come on, Donald Trump. Tell me this was karaoke. Somebody in the comments, tell me this is karaoke, please.
And it's because there's tons of people here. It's a huge space, and it's just going to get more and more crowded as the week goes on.
Not only do we have a lot of people here, we have people that you want to have here, like Stacey Garrity. That woman's going to be next governor of Pennsylvania.
There
right
we
there.
go.
Yep, look at her, that beautiful red hair.
And it's because there's tons of people here. It's a huge space, and it's just going to get more and more crowded as the week goes on.
Not only do we have a lot of people here, we have people that you want to have here, like Stacey Garrity.
And as you can see, the right wing, I believe that was probably Fox News, lying their asses off like they normally do. And that just goes to show the willingness of certain people to ride Donald Trump's coattail and to not give the truth when the truth is needed. Like they could have protected people. They could have let us know that this state fair wasn't at its peak and wasn't at its best. But they would rather sit up there and lie like they always do, and it's pretty disturbing, honestly.
It's 88 degrees outside. People are trapped in these plastic boxes. Detour signs everywhere. You don't know how to get in. There's like metal detectors to nowhere. The food tent is so depressing. The animals are out in the heat. Why did they put the barriers on the other side of the water fountain, making these tourists walk in the blazing hot heat with no tree coverage? I went to the Great American State Fair. Nobody is talking about the setup, which I think is the most egregious problem. So let's talk about it. So if you look at this map, the booths are in the center squares. They're in the grassy part. But the barriers are over by the street. So the tree line area is inside the barriers, but behind the booths. And that's where water fountains are. There are water fountains along that path. So I asked somebody, can I access the water fountains? Yeah. And they didn't know what I was talking about, but they were angels and gave me a bottle of water. God, you guys are angels. Thank you so much. And then even when you get inside, there's like no clear way to get water. So I found they have tents in the back right next to the water fountains. I feel like someone's gonna die because they can't find water.
Also, way behind the state booths is the DC Metro exhibit,
Which was honestly the coolest part. We got to see the old trains with the carpet, although the carpet was way too clean. Never looked like that when I rode those trains. The trains are totally air conditioned. So it was like a great exhibit, and guess what? Like, nobody can see it back there. The rest of the fair is like exactly what people have been saying. Not a soul out there, no one to hear my prayer. To be fair, some of the booths were cute. Like, effort was put into them, although there was rampant AI, which is really disappointing. But it would have been a cute thing to have in a convention hall where you could learn about every state. But for the 250th, it's very disappointing. Obviously, the Folklight Festival would have been a million times better, but even when I heard about a giant state fair, I was like, you know what, that could be cool. Like, I'll give it a chance. I want to try food from, like, every state. All I was thinking about was food. Maybe that's just me, but I thought, wow, like, I can go get crab cakes at the Maryland section, or I can go get, I don't know, pork roll and cheese at the New Jersey section. There was like a hibachi thing in the food tent. It's 88 degrees outside. Also have a bone to pick with New Jersey because they highlighted one county. I mean, come on. And not even the best one. Shout out Monmouth County. So that's my review of the Great American State Fair.
As you can see from another unbiased American, that, again, totally underwhelming, lackluster. It looks like they put entirely no effort into this at all. And again, the most concerning part to me is the fact that she said that the water fountains were like way in back of everything. And then there were people working there that didn't even know that there were water fountains. I mean, come on. Like, how is this even possible for an event that's supposed to be so big, that's supposed to represent this country, that's was supposed to have all these possibly hundreds of thousands of people in attendance? They're lucky no one showed up. It could have been 10 times worse. The state exhibits were terrible. The foundation, no animals, no food. I mean, not no, but minimal amount. I mean, it's not a state fair. If you've been to a state fair like I have, you know what a state fair is like. And this looked nothing like any type of state fair that I've been to.
So we are evacuating once again. This time because of lightning. We've already evacuated a couple times for weather. Yesterday we evacuated for heat because people were passing out because it was friggin' hot. It's pretty crazy. I think they're going to reopen it in about an hour, and then all these people are going to have to get in line to go through security again. But I got credentials, so I don't have to do that.
And that's another thing that I want to bring up as well, is that I don't believe there was a full day of the state fair in all the days that it was held. I think they had to cut it short every day in the daytime and reopen at night, whether it was for the heat, whether it was for the wind, whether it was for the stage and stuff falling apart, or whatever, you know, like it just, man, I don't really know what much more I can say about this, man. I hope people watching, I hope you didn't go and experience that garbage. I hope that you stayed home like me and every other smart person and saved your money and celebrated America's 250th with your friends and family in a nice, secure, safe, cool place.
What if we kissed in front of the fire truck at the Great American State Fair? It is over 100 degrees in DC with this heat, and right here behind me We've got a fire EMS truck set up with a fan just blowing like mist onto folks as they come out of the fair back here. This is crazy. This is absolutely wild. It do feel good though. I gotta give them to them. That do feel real good.
Again, it shows that they weren't prepared for anything. They weren't prepared for this heat. The EMS and the fire department had to get together and mist water onto people now. Why do they have to be the ones who are looking out for the well-being of the people? I mean, that's their job to react situations when situations or disaster happens, but it's not their job to set up and make sure that people are all right. That's the event planner's job. That's the president and the people that he has in place. And again, totally unprepared. Some of the stupidest people were involved with doing this. And I hate saying that, but I mean, what else can you call it but stupidity? And this is terrible for America.